Championship, which is what we are about to enjoy now. So Sam, while they're just warming up, let's have a little chat. I mean, you were brilliant on P-bars yourself, so let's just talk through the ultimate routine really, and what these judges are going to be looking for and what the gymnasts are going to be performing here.
Well, hopefully, Matt, we're going to see the ultimate routine. So Zou Jingyuan of China probably does the most dominant routine in men's gymnastics, very similar to Kaylin and Moore, and what you're looking for are the skills under the bars where the gymnast will be in a hang. Look a little bit like the skills you're going to see performed on the high bar a little bit later on. But now, because we've got those 8 skills, you can't just use one certain family of gymnastics elements to build your D score. You have to have a real balanced routine. So there are a lot more upper bar skills that you're going to see, skills where the gymnasts start in the upper arms, and the double backs between the bars have now come back into the routines. And quite a lot of these gymnasts you're going to see do big dismounts. So I noticed that in the qualification round, and also the all-around final, we saw a double back somersault with a full twist from the neutral athlete. We're going to see Donnell Whittenburg do a great double front half turn. So very exciting routines we're going to see here. Yeah,
Donnell was victorious on rings yesterday, becoming Team USA's first ever rings world gold medalist. And I mean, he's a strong contender here in this final as well, Beth. His shoulders are massive, but you can move the bars out, can't you, to adjust them, similar to the uneven bars actually.
Yeah, so you'll see when the gymnasts are preparing to go on the bars, they get a certain amount of time to prepare. One will be how wide the bars go, and quite often you see it kind of judging it with your arm so that they can see how wide, but they also like to prepare the bars similar to the asymmetric bars. Whether they have honey, whether they have chalk, they'll go along and make sure the grip is just right. And on P-bars, every lad seems to like it very, very different. Even within the British team, you see a lot of different preparation between each of the lads.
Yeah, that's right, Beth. And in the warm-up on the parallel bars, you get an extended warm-up time. So normally on an apparatus, you have 30 seconds. On the parallel bars, you have 50, and that's so you can prepare the bars, set them to the right width. And I noticed in the all-around final, Matt, there's a gymnast here from Colombia that's probably performed the most unique routine I've seen of the whole championships, Angel Barajas. So really look out for that, because he's doing some elements that I've never seen from anybody else. So that's going to be great. And we've got the Japanese, obviously. We've got Oka Shinnosuke, Olympic champion. Hasn't gone so well for him at this championship, so he's going to be looking for a bit of redemption. We have a new Japanese gymnast that's really exciting, very young. Again, has a bit of a different routine, and will feature in the high bar final. So should be a great final, this one.
Tomoharu, yeah, he's just 19-year-old. Actually is as Barajas as well. He's just 19, so there's some real young ones coming through. And you know, we were saying about the Olympic cycle, here we are, early doors. Obviously our first chance to see a lot of the gymnasts that are competing as neutral athletes as well. What have you made of those, Beth, actually, through these championships?
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely got the skills, they've got the elements. Melnikova has relied on the experience to be able to come back onto the world stage. Some of the younger gymnasts that have come in, we've seen they've got the skills, they haven't necessarily got the competition experience. It is very different competing on a domestic stage versus competing internationally. So I think they are gymnasts to watch out for over the next cycle, for sure.
Well, we are going to start this men's parallel bars final with one of those neutral athletes. This is Daniel Marinov. He's the 8th highest qualifier. So I'll hand over to Christine Still and Craig Heap in the commentary box. And guys, I'll come and join you.
Thank you, Matt. And for me, probably one of the most exciting finals of the day, the men's parallel bars. I mean, Zou Jingyuan of China, he is nearly a full mark above the rest of the field. Christine, such an exciting performer. Not many gymnasts will score over 15, but he seems to do it with ease.
Well, and China really have always had such wonderful parallel bar workers. We say that countries are particular experts at certain pieces, and for me this is probably China's best piece. So the competition within their country to make the team is very great already, so you know you're seeing the best of the best here.
Well, funny you should say that, because China have 2 gymnasts in this parallel bar final, and so do the Japanese gymnasts. Parallel bars and high bar, traditionally strong pieces of apparatus for these countries. Our first neutral athlete, as Matt said, will be up first. He's a real all-rounder, this competitor, and it's really difficult if you're an all-rounder to get into a final. This gymnast we're going to see him in 3 finals today, so testament to the strength of his all-round capabilities. Qualified in 8th place, so he'll have to put in a good routine. .2 in qualification with a 5-7 difficulty. Let's see what Marinov can do. Lovely sharp straight arm work. So only 8 moves on the apparatus now, so every skill needs to be as difficult as can be. Oh, just that little adjustment there. Lovely height and flight, and as Sam was saying there, these routines now have real variety. Certain skill elements gymnasts must do, and a little hesitation there. Got this big dismount, double back with the full twist. Oh, nearly got the .1. Good
love
solid
that.
start, Chris.
Love that dismount. And he doesn't make a big song and dance about it, does he? Whips it over.
It was a very efficient routine, wasn't it? Packed it in, got all the moves in, and then a beautiful dismount, as you say.
You were saying, Craig, that he's in 3 finals here. This is the gymnast that did 5 fantastic pieces all around, and on rings, a very short routine of about 5 moves.
Very low
with
difficulty,
a 3-1 difficulty. We feel there must have been some sort of injury stopping him do more, because really he'd have been a serious contender all around with a decent rings routine.
Absolutely, and Sam was thinking, oh, maybe he's had shoulder surgery and that, but when you look at this routine, you cannot perform for this level on parallel bars with any shoulder injury whatsoever. So, unless there's obviously a reason behind it. Matt, and when you were coming in, I was just talking about, for an all-round gymnast to qualify for an individual apparatus final is some feat. This gymnast, 3 today.
Yeah, he's certainly one to watch, LA-wise as well.
Yes,
if they're allowed to compete, that is. Yeah.
That is, yeah. He wasn't faultless here. He did just have a couple of little steps, didn't he? But a very impressive young man. There we are. There's that. Look how close he goes to the bar. Wow. I bet you catch yourself on that a few times.
Yeah. Well, 14.7 was his qualification score. Well, sorry, he scored that in the all-round actually. Put in a 14.2 in qualification, so he can really challenge here. 14.466 is what he's awarded in this individual apparatus final.
Up the difficulty as well, 5.9.
Maybe in the mix, we'll have to wait and see. Well, here is Donnell Whittenburg. Took a gold yesterday on rings, making history. 6th highest qualifier here for parallel bars. He has a 5.8 difficulty, so he's not going to hold back either.
Well, I think he has the bars the widest they can go to get those shoulders through. Flying high yesterday, as you said, Matt. Not too shabby on this piece of apparatus as well. Such a powerful gymnast. Look, pops up into the handstand. Lovely long swing. Watch this, kicks up. Beautiful Suarez skill. The back somersault with the half turn into the front somersault. Front uprise into the double back. Look at the height there, the straddle front somersault.
Good. Held that.
Big dismount to go. Here we go. Double front with the half turn. Has he nailed it? What about that?
Give him the stick. Give him the stick. Oh, well, a crowd-pleasing routine from Donnell Whittenburg. He got a gold yesterday. Has he? Is it possible for him to get a medal today? Well, he went all out for difficulty. If you ask the crowd, they'll say yes.
I was going to say, he's the complete showman, isn't he? And really, a lot of very, very good work, having watched him so much over the years. I think this is looking as classy as I've ever seen him look, really and truthfully.
I agree, Christine, and actually in the past he has been a little bit inconsistent. He missed the Olympic team for USA, and I think that's what meant so much to him yesterday, becoming the first American world champion on the rings. He'd be flying on adrenaline. For me, the judges are looking for that kick-out extension before you catch the bars. And we're going to see some really stylish parallel bar workers. So even though it was a good routine, I don't think today it's going to be good enough to get onto the podium, even though it was very exciting.
I mean, he's got huge accuracy for such a big frame guy. Do you know what I mean? There's not much room between those bars, and he wasn't close to clouting them.
No, he's very precise, and what he has got is extreme height and flight. You know, he's very dynamic and very powerful. And this dismount, it's interesting. We used to have domestically a bonus for a stick landing, but if you had to circle your arms twice, you didn't get it. So I don't know, will they give that stick landing under all circumstances?
Let's have a look. No.
No.
14.233 for Donnell Whittenburg.
I wouldn't want to be the guy to tell him he's not got the stick landing. Probably from about 100 yards away. Exciting gymnast though, and that's what gymnastic fans around the world want to see, don't they? They want to see exciting gymnastics.
Yeah, we've seen some brilliant gymnastics in this final so far today. Well, here is the new Japanese sensation, 19 years old, Tsunogai Tomoharu, the third highest qualifier, junior world champion a couple of years ago.
And parallel bar work is in the blood of these Japanese gymnasts. Decades of success on this piece of apparatus. Negotiating the bars well. Just that little move on the hand. Lovely long swing into the full turn. That's called the Diamondov. Plenty of height there, right through into the long swing. He'll pirouette. Watch this, changing the body shape. Look at the height and flight, effortless, travelling along the bars. You can see why this gymnast qualified in third place.
Beautiful.
Almost like on the high bar, the Katchev skill, known as the Tipelt on the parallel bars. Dismount to go. Oh, nearly the point one, but for me, that's the best routine so far.
Absolutely beautiful it was, mesmerising to watch. Put in a 5.7 difficulty in qualification. Interested to see what he's going to be awarded here, but he's also got the high bar final to come today. But absolutely superb, earning his place in the final, and I'm sure he's going to be leading it after that.
And he's a very compact, stylish gymnast. Can see the flexibility there. So strong on that one arm. Builds that difficulty linking those elements. And when you do one element as perfectly as this, you can easily take it into the next element.
I think some gymnasts make parallel bar work look difficult. The style of the Japanese and Chinese on this piece of apparatus, it's fluent, isn't it? You know, you look there and it's not like, are they going to get through the routine? And look at the height there. Most gymnasts catch with their feet a little bit lower. He was nearly into the handstand mat.
He used a little bit of strength to go up to the handstand, putting his shoulders forwards. Is that a bit of a deduction, Craig?
No, because you know, he still had the momentum. It wasn't a pause and then like a straddle to handstand. I mean, that's as good you'll see that skill. There's only the Chinese gymnasts who really will perform it marginally better, but that's one of the best tip outs I think you'll see.
14.5 puts the junior world champion into the lead in this senior final at the World Championships.
8-7. This is a piece where the execution scores really are quite high, aren't they? The deductions are not so heavy.
But for how long will Tsunogai be in the lead? Because here comes the highest qualifier. Olympic gold medalist, world champion 3 times, 2 times Olympic champion. This is Zou Jingyuan of China, 27 years old and an absolute master on this piece.
Just sit back, watch and enjoy perfection. And for the big finale, the double front with the half turn. I'm not sure if he's got the stick bonus, but there were no words for me to describe how perfect that routine was. Class in another level.
Absolutely beautiful. From Zou Jingyuan of China, looking for a 4th world title on this piece of apparatus, and I don't know who's going to take it from him.
And a performance where you felt no doubting in your mind at all that he might make a mistake. He was so sure-footed, done this routine so many times, and when I said earlier if you do each move perfectly it's easy to link them together, well this is what this guy does, each move perfectly. So when he's starting the next move, it's not with a little bit of lack of balance or anything. Look at the extension, legs snap together well above the height of the parallel bars.
I mean, it's almost a shame on his landing, isn't it? Let's be honest, that he didn't get the stick.
Well, where...
we don't know if he did or not.
Where are you going to take the deductions? I mean, this is the issue. I mean, you used to be able to get marks for virtuosity. I mean, a virtuoso performance. Look at the height there. And that where he's flaring his arms behind. Most gymnasts let go and are desperate to get hold of the bars. He has got loads of time. And, well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Look at the height there. Knees locked together.
He's done 2 somersaults by the time he's level with the bars again. Kicks out and...
We can't see the feet there. 15.5, got to be at least for that routine.
Well, he scored 15.466 in qualification with the 6 difficulty.
It has to be execution well into the 9s, doesn't it?
Has to be, yeah.
For me, that is the routine of the World Championships. No more on bars, but for me, that was ahead of that.
Yes, the more you can see the odd occasion when their legs come apart, that I couldn't really see any errors in at all.
15.3. I mean, that's going to be virtually impossible to beat for any of the gymnasts that are coming.
7/10. They took off 7/10. Where? That is absolute insanity. You might take a 10th on the dismount, but where else would you take a deduction? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was slightly slightly confusing. Let's bring in Sam if we can in the studio. Sam, if you can hear me, Craig's raging that they took 7/10 off there. I'm kind of agreeing with him. How do you feel about that routine?
Yeah, me and Beth are having the same discussion. I mean, there's just nowhere to take those deductions. Obviously, the dismount, there was the arm waver and maybe a slight shuffle, but at this point, you know, me and Beth were discussing, the judges are just looking for those deductions, because the work in between the routine before that dismount was absolutely perfect. And, you know, there just really is, unfortunately, no chance of anybody getting close to a score like that, because he's just so incredible, without a doubt. The best parallel bars worker that there's ever been, and it's a joy. I liked that Craig just sat back and we just watched that routine. It really was a piece of art.
Yeah, and Beth, I mean, we've talked about longevity of gymnasts already this morning. However, I mean, he won his first world title back in 2017, and he's still managing somehow to maintain that level. I mean, that says an enormous amount about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly is a specialist of this apparatus, and I think going back to those deductions, we were saying the judges are looking for them, whereas when you judge a routine, quite often you see them, whereas actually you're having to kind of find those deductions, and to continue being that high above the game of everyone else is incredible over that amount of time. But I think it is this is mainly the only apparatus that he works on.
Yeah, we're just watching the young Colombian Sam warming up, the 19-year-old Angel Barajas. He actually got the Junior World Championship alongside the Japanese gymnast that we saw earlier on, Tsunogai. He's definitely one to watch in this final, isn't he?
He really is. He's so exciting, and you're going to see him do a long swing 1.5 diameter off, and then a very rare double pike front dismount. So keep an eye out. This is going to be an exciting routine.
Okay, well, Barajas has chalked up the bars. He's ready to go. On we go then with the men's world parallel bar final. 5th highest qualifier, Angel Barajas.
Fluent start into the handstand. Great control there from the one rail. Ooh, and he's a bit soft in the back, but he'll turn out of there. That's a very difficult combination. Not just got the fluidity of the previous routine. Oh, but that's lovely. From the long swing, the 1.5 turn all the way around. Taller gymnast, so it's difficult for this gymnast to just straighten up the back. Big dismount, the double pike. Good routine, but I feel like once you're following perfection, it's always a very hard ask, and you can definitely see the difference, can't you?
Well, at least they had a warm-up in between, you know what I mean, just to sort of divert the eyes of the judges. But 14.466 is the top third score at the moment from Marinov.
Yeah, and you could see there, like as you said, Craig, just a little bit soft in the back on a few occasions, but an exciting young gymnast.
We scored a 14.3 in qualification. He put in a 14.233 in the all-round competition, but he's got it's the difficulty. He's got a 5.9 on difficulty at 19 years old.
His swing is a little bit different to the Chinese, obviously because he's probably about a foot taller, but he has to create quite a bit more of a pike, and then so he loses that pure line, doesn't he?
It is, if you're a taller gymnast, it is a lot more difficult. When we talk about longevity in the sport, the Chinese gymnast, he's got a great frame suited for gymnastics, where this gymnast, you could see, because he's got such a long frame, in the handstand, you've got your back muscles have to work that much more, and we're seeing the arch position in the handstand a little bit more. Again, such a difficult routine. And it's just when you're in company with one of the best performers in the world, it highlights everybody else's imperfections.
Well, yeah, on the execution side, but he's pushing him for difficulty. He's just 0.1 behind.
Which is quite amazing, actually, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, he's 8 years older than him. He's got a great career ahead of him.
And again, great for Colombia, parallel bar final.
Well, a lot of these gymnasts, their aim will have been here to make a final. There's only a very few who are going to have come with their aim for a medal. If a medal comes along, but what you want, how you measure yourself in success is whether you're a potential finalist.
And you know what, we talk about timing in sport. You know, being a parallel bar worker at the same time as Zou Jingyuan is like being a sprinter at the time of Usain Bolt. You know you're running for second place. Same with Biles in the women's all-around. Once those people leave, then that's the opportunity. As we said, he's 19 years of age.
Yeah.
So once you get rid of somebody that's clearly above the rest of the field, there's the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, Marinov is leading. Marinov is in third, I should say. He's the with a score of 14.466, the neutral athlete. Taking the time on this score. We were talking about Marinov's all-around score earlier on, and his low rings. He's actually had shoulder surgery a year ago.
Ah, right.
So he's nursing that.
So it probably wasn't worth the risk of setting that off to do a big rings exercise. He simply wanted to come and measure himself against the best in the world.
But again, testament to a brilliant all-round gymnast. If you think he's in the all-round, and he's featured more on finals than any other gymnast today, and to be able to perform a parallel bar routine like that from surgery is fabulous.
Well, the score is in. 14.366 isn't enough for Barajas to nudge into the top three at the moment. 3 gymnasts still left to go in this world final on parallel bars.
And he upped his difficulty, Matt, to 6.1.
So he
gone up 2/10.
Yeah. Beat him. Beat the Chinese gymnast on difficulty. Well, Oka Shinnosuke next to go, the second highest qualifier. He's just 21 years old. He got a bronze medal at the Olympics on parallel bars, and he put in a 14.666 in the all-around competition on this piece. So, looking for a silver. Oh dear.
Well, it won't be like that. Just too much adrenaline there. The front somersault overcooked it. Once he's settled in, beautiful parallel bar work. Look at the extension, the height. Oh, and again, just misplaced the arm a little bit. These gymnasts have had quite a hectic schedule at the World Championships, been in the all-round apparatus final. It's the last day of competition. And you're at a real disadvantage up against the specialists if you've had a lengthy programme. Big dismount, no stick bonus. Disappointing today.
What a
fatigue,
shame.
I think, just creeping in for some of these gymnasts.
Yeah, no question about it. He had his sights set on that silver medal, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Craig, just a bit over-adrenalised, but he really recovered it well, didn't he? He showed his absolute strength and ability to manage his body and get out of it.
But again, for these young gymnasts, it's so important at this stage in the run-up to the Olympics, you know, the 3 years of preparation. They'll come out ready.
Well, this gymnast is a great all-rounder, isn't he? He's a current Olympic champion. Sneaked in between Hashimoto and Baheng of China in Paris. Didn't fare as well in the all-around in this competition.
But he's one of those gymnasts that will be looking to fight to lead the team from Japan in this cycle. And you know, there are going to be days that are not quite so good, but it's how you deal with them that matters, because everybody will have them.
Yeah, and it's the recovery as well, you know, the first skill, then to focus. And, you know, you've got a lot of young gymnasts all over the world watching this and go, well, actually, the best in the world make mistakes. And I think there's too much pressure on athletes, young people, society, that you've always got to be perfect.
Yep.
So I think it's quite grounding and levelling to see the best in the world making errors.
And carrying on.
Yeah, and just getting through it.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
pick themselves up and come back and fight another day.
Because this is the interesting thing. I mean, he could have just jumped off there and said, "Oh, I'm gone, see you later," but he didn't.
As a coach, that's the very worst thing you want to see. You always want to see people fight and carry on.
13.3. Well, Shinnosuke is not the score he was hoping to see. He's down in 6th. Came here as a real medal contender for this. But the Olympic all-round champion will be back.
I suspect he's thinking how much easier it was to be a young pretender fighting my way up than already the Olympic champion having to have all eyes on me.
Yes. So the door is open now for Shi Cong of China. He's 24. He knows what it's like to win a medal at the World Championships on this piece. He got a silver in 23. He was bronze medalist in 21.
Well, he's up there on the difficulty. All of these guys have got very difficult routines. Oh, that's a beautiful front up rise into the double back somersault. Quite a tall gymnast for this piece. Oh, and then we've had the same again. If your hand catches a little bit late and your body's swinging through the vertical of the parallel bars, you swing through at such force. Lovely kick out, recomposed, reset. Not just the same height and flight and virtuoso as his teammate. Up into the dismount. Well, the first stuck landing, but a little bit too much too late. After that little error in the middle, it certainly rattled him.
Well, Tsunogai, the Japanese 19-year-old, is looking very, very good here for a silver medal.
Lovely style here, though, knees locked together. But like you said, Craig, you can see the difference between his performance and his teammates. He's very good, but not quite that special. Wow, and it's very unusual to have two such good, accomplished gymnasts make a very similar mistake, plummeting with the shoulders.
Well, that is a very difficult skill because you're on the one bar in handstand and you're turning back. It's a blind catch, so it's almost like putting your hand in your back pocket. You know, well, try doing that while your body's falling at a rate of knots. And that's why you see they get a good D score, difficulty score for skills like that. I mean, he did very well to recover. But even early on when he did the front up rise into the double back somersault, you could see the kick out wasn't before the catch. Even on the dismount, his knees were just a little bit apart. He might have gained, you know, the 0.1. But he had an opportunity there to take a medal.
Well, his compatriot leads this competition, Zou Jingyuan, on a score of 15.3. And then the young Japanese gymnast, Tsunogai, he's got a score of 14.5. And then the neutral athlete, Marinov, third at the moment, 14.466. 13.1 will not threaten for Shi Cong. As the last gymnast prepares to go in this parallel bar world final, Vladislav Polyashov, neutral athlete. He's 30 years old, Polyashov. Posted a 5.4 on the difficulty and a score of 14.233 got him into this final. Now needs a couple of extra tenths to try and get into the medal contention and knock his neutral athlete off the charts.
Well, he won't do it like that. Quite a fast tempo at the start.
Oh, no.
Oh, and a little bit short there. No problem in the flighted elements. It's a very quick, zippy routine. Well, he can nail the dismount, but the start of the routine caused a few problems, and that won't be good enough to challenge the top three.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, he barely did 8 moves, did he, Craig? He linked them well.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this, especially on women's bars. The quicker you get on and get your 8 moves done, the less chance of deduction. But I think he was so quick at the start, wanting to get through, that it caused a few problems.
Little bit bent legs there as they join. You can see the difference.
I think for the, untrained eye, gymnastics is a very difficult sport to watch and understand the difference between the routines. I think this piece of apparatus, even for the untrained eye, you can see the difference between the guy that's won and the rest of the field.
Yeah, I would definitely agree there.
Oh, there's no question. Zou Jingyuan, absolute master. He's definitely won that title. We don't even need to wait for the scores to come in.
It was interesting, though, you were saying, Craig, where did the 0.7 go? Here, it's the score.
13.966 for Polyashov, the neutral athlete. And that concludes the men's parallel bar world final. And there is the world champion yet again. His 4th world title on this piece of apparatus, confirming he is the best in the world. Zou Jingyuan of China, 27 years old. Tsunogai Tomoharu of Japan, he takes the silver medal. And Donnell Marinov, the neutral athlete, 20 years old, he takes the bronze. And that's how things look after the top 8 from qualification have completed the final. Zou Jingyuan of China at 27 years old. He's the Olympic champion and now 4 times world champion on this piece. A 19-year-old from Japan, Tsunogai Tomoharu, he takes silver, and Donnell Marinov, the neutral athlete, he finishes in 3rd.